Exploring my celibacy phase is mainly about mythical stories with nasty details of gods as inspired and performed with Bharatanatyam dance. Honestly, Indian gods. Maheshwara is another name of Shiva, the divine balance of masculine and feminine energy as we all know. He was born with a lower caste. He assumed he became God because of surviving the consumption of poison, a hashish abuser and tamer of animals. He portrayed himself to be God because of the opening of the third eye and simultaneously realizing the presence of Shakti, an energy within his physical body. A ball of magical powers from higher dimensions, or just my delusion? Supposedly, Shiva had foreseen the destruction that would be caused by keeping his third eye open. Enlightenment is not with anger and destruction, but it is supposed with unconditional love for the creation itself. Maybe my levitation will be nothing more than just a tangible proof of me being the supreme being. Maheshwara experimented with hallucinogenic plants to calm his anger and balance his masculine and feminine energy in his mind and body. Today, I talk about the imbalance of masculine and feminine energies of our self-centered and ignorant God, which I sometimes call Nataraj. Famously known for his Shiv Tandav in Bharatanatyam dance, Shiv is the one whose beauty is appreciated throughout the three dimensions of heaven, earth and hell. He is the carrier of the river Ganga, and heart of Gauri, famously known as Parvati. Tribhuvan Sundar Jai Gangadhar, Jai Jai Gauri Ke Hriday, Jai Shiv Shankar. And he is still insecure about his identity. You are not enlightened, Shiva. You didn't fly, and neither did opening of your third eye destroy the world. Or did it? I reckon that the world existed way before and will continue to exist long after you're gone. This time I'm most probably setting things straight as I chose to look out for my own creation. No god in the history of mankind has attained wings of enlightenment. Many have attained different levels of siddhis by performing constant sadhana, but I've dreamed of Dadara Siddhi, which means frog-like jumping. My childhood nightmare of giant frogs staring at me from my window also found its roots in physics, namely sound diamagnetic levitation. We'll discuss it some other time. Gods have preached about spirituality, meditated for hours, sometimes died of hunger and lack of shelter in harsh weather, but never levitated. Drinking venom and surviving it is not proof of being a god. Insanely absorbed with a female character from my dancing Bharatanatyam instincts, I used to dislike male deities and tend to appreciate female gods, being a woman myself, but now because of constant filth and lack of woman's integrity, I've started to acknowledge male deities as well. It is losing faith to know how deities copulated with animals due to their husband's absence. Elephant-headed Ganesha was the key that made Shiv and Parvati fall in love again and gave birth to Karthik. That is when Shiva finally gave up on celibacy after the longest meditation of his life. What does the religious symbol of Om and Lingam depict? How does it talk about the end of an era like the cross of Jesus Christ? Om supposedly means three people involved in doggy style under the open sky with sun and moon, which became the symbol of Om in Hinduism, and Lingam stands for the sacred union of yoni, female genitals, and ling, male genitals. I've proved the opening of the third eye like Shiva and Shakti by channeling mind, body, soul. How Shiva lacked ego dissolution and felt insecure to know the ultimate god might be a woman. Why Shiva comes before Parvati, signifying a man's ego. Otherwise usually feminine comes before masculine, like Mom, Dad, Radha Krishna, Sita Ram. Females are given more emphasis by the law of nature, but Shiva bent that rule by naming himself first. Shiva is more feminine himself, as said in Bharatanatyam. His Shiv Tandav is given more recognition than his masculine sadhana meditation. The third eye is acknowledging the third entity, Shiv, Shakti and Parvati. At least neither opening of Shiva's third eye nor his Tandav could destroy our world, mates. It is above the third eye in crown chakra, where the thread is attached to higher realms that connects us all and more. They call it ego dissolution. I took a detour. Myths or not, Shiv says heaven is in the Himalayas, from where the Ganga river flows from Shiva's head. Somehow he manages to takes the destructive Ganga river in his head and allows it to flow from his hair to avoid floods in India. What if it is the Supreme Mother's piss? Do you know about Nandi the bull, usually found around Shivling and also known as the vehicle to Shiva? My Mimi has her own version of how Nandi the bull was dumb. He was supposedly asked by Shiv to spread the word, asking to eat 1 time a day and shower 3 times, but Nandi conveyed the opposite. He asked to eat 3 times and shower 1 time. This mistake punished the bull to work on farmland, resulting in Nandi the bull being the god of fertility that is used by farmers to plow the field. Also, it is a fact that cow piss is considered holy, just like our river, Ganga. Both are for rinsing, the prime property of water. Bharatanatyam doesn't end here. There's also other evidence found that Parvati and Shiva were boycotted from their father's biggest yajna, which was seemingly attended by all deities. It is assumed Parvati had an intimate relationship with a lustful elephant and Shiva still accepted her as his consort. Supposedly Parvati out of humiliation cut herself into 51 pieces that fell on earth carried by the flying god Vishnu. I am grateful to Shiva for trip-sitting me at my peak, saving bloodshed together and going beyond Shiva Shakti. Maybe it is death, maybe it is bending laws of physics or a new wave of genetic mutation in humans. Fingers crossed for levitation, the tangible proof I rely on. Boom Shiva.